Well, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, it don't work without you guys. So let's get open for business here, and let's wake up my football guys. Wake up, guys. Wake up. Wake up. There we go. And let's let the spirits out. Come on. Come on, spirits. Come on. Come on. Looks like we might need some more spirits. Maybe that's why the door opened up, to kind of let me know, hey, you're getting low. You're getting low on rum. That might be what the issue is. So, guys, it's here. We got the draft. You know, it's funny. Or actually not funny. It's actually sad because I thought we were going to be waking up in Vegas today. I thought we were going to be part of all the festivities, being downtown and live streaming, being part of the NFL draft. And well, this is a setback for sure. But you know what? I'm proud of the human race adapting and learning how to find a way. Definitely proud of the NFL for being able to try and put this thing on and get this thing together. It's going to be interesting because this is truly going to be really the first technology draft. I believe 54 NFL prospects have all been sent cameras, lighting equipment, as well as 32 hats. So that way they can have their live reaction to being drafted, and they'll feed that in. As we've all seen, we know everybody's going to be tuned in. So maybe the networks, as far as the bandwidth, may end up having issues as well, because Lord knows I'm going to be having 3 wireless cameras, 2 webcams, 5 different computers, a Zoom meeting that's going on. We're going to be following the feeds of everybody as they're going through and drafting. We'll follow Philly 500 and Bad Dog and the New York Stinking Giant fans, so we can get some live reaction. I'm hoping that we bring something very valuable to you guys and include you as much as possible, because that's what it's all about. Is trying to adapt to the changing times that we have, and so we're looking forward to it. And I have a lot of work still to do today. I think we're going to upgrade this monitor today. Order a TV and have it just and pick it up from Best Buy while I go out and take stuff to my parents' house to drop off. And we'll be fiddling around. We'll probably put another computer down on the set, so I may need to move this so that way I've got everything ready to be able to rock and roll tonight, because this is it. You ever in your life feel like you've been building for something and you just didn't know what it was? I have been, for really about the last 2 years, when I built the fire pit 2 years ago, I had a dream, and my dream was to turn this into my sports bar / studio. I wanted to be able to sit outside with the gang and everything else, where we could end up watching, football games and broadcasting from out there, fireside chats and stuff. It just was never able to get the people involved in that. You know how it is on game day when we have 5 or 6, 10 people in here and doing live streams, and that's kind of part of the thing that I wanted to do. And I've been purchasing different equipment, and upgrading, and trying to learn how to use all this stuff, and dreaming of being my own sports network, to try and, I know it sounds crazy, but trying to rival the sports establishment as far as broadcasting goes. And I've had all this equipment and things and never really had an opportunity to use it to its potential. But I still kept working, I kept buying cameras. Like, you already had 2 wireless cameras, why do you need a 3rd one? Well, tonight is that chance, that one shot, that one opportunity to be able to really and truly put on a show. So I'm going to go full force, all effort to bring you guys something good. I'm happy, I'm scared, I'm nervous, but we're going to get it done. Now, for the Dallas Cowboys, they got options. As Jerry Jones put it, I like the hole that we're in. Yeah, Jerry, we've been in a hole for 25 years. How about we don't call it a hole? How about we get out the hole? Be that as it may, the 17th spot. 17 is low enough that you should be able to get an impact player. 17 is low enough that people will look at that and say, I'd like to be there, which means that you have the opportunity, if you deem it a spot that you can move back on. But I don't think at 17 you look at saying, I want to get to the top 10. The problem for the Dallas Cowboys has been in the past, in the draft, when they've reached, when they've said, we have a position we have to fill. We've been looking for defensive line help now for several years. You can look and say Taco was a reach. We were late in the first round. Most of the edge rushers were already going off the board. You're not picking again until late in the second round. Cornerbacks were still on the board. So you looked at it and you said, we have to get a pass rusher. Now, part of the Dallas Cowboys issue was T.J. Watt was there, and they looked at it and said, that's not really the kind of player for our system, and he doesn't have the length that we like. And a lot of times you have the prototypical size, intangibles of a player. Get a guy who's 6'4", that's 220 pounds and has a cannon for an arm, had great numbers in college. And you look at it and say, that guy's a quarterback. But then you look at somebody like Russell Wilson and say, yeah, they say he's 6 foot, but I think he's really 5'11". He's not really the type and prototypical quarterback. Nah, you don't need him. Not the guy. And you pass on him. And then you realize that this guy that you deemed as the right size, build, and everything else, and the intangibles, doesn't have it up here, or doesn't have it here, and ends up being a deer caught in the headlights because he was at a big school that had talent above everybody else, so you didn't have to be the guy. But once you got to the NFL, it was a different ball of wax. So it definitely changes how you look at players. You can't just go by the combine. You can't just go by the college work. You need to go through everything and have a bit of luck. Now, when the Cowboys reached for Taco, they looked at him and said, he's raw, but he has the intangibles that we like. He's tall, he's quick, he's got a good step. But you just couldn't get that guy to fit in with the coaching staff. Maybe a different coaching staff will get a better result. You never know. You got Steve Young, who went to Tampa Bay, and they thought he was a bust, let him go, and he became the Hall of Famer in San Francisco. Coaching has a lot to do with this. Now, for the Cowboys, they reached for Tristan Hill. Tristan Hill had some of those intangibles, had a high motor and energy and everything else, but he hasn't thus far had it up here, that desire to stay awake in meetings or to show up on time for meetings. And that's another guy that they reached for in the second round because they said, we need defensive tackle help. When you think about Morris Claiborne, where we moved up, took a first and a second, they said, we got to get a lights out cornerback. We're going to take the best guy in the draft. Didn't quite work out. So now you took a first as well as a second that should be a starter, and you spent it on one guy who just didn't cut it. So if anything, I look at the Dallas Cowboys this year saying either staying pat or moving back. They have multitudes of positions that they deem they need. Safety, cornerback, defensive line. center, slot wide receiver. These are all positions that you would like to get somebody. And if it ends up being that you look at your draft board and you've got your top 5 picks and you're getting down close to 17 and you got all 5 of those guys up there, all 5 guys that can actually help you immediately, then maybe you look and say, okay, we can move back and still get one of these guys. Move back some with one of these guys, right? Now that we got an extra pick, maybe we take a third and a second and we move up higher, get back into the first, and get a second one of those guys. Now, we're at least, instead of moving up and taking 2 picks for one guy, now we took 1 pick and got 2 guys. Now the odds are in your favor. So don't look for the Cowboys to move up. But Jerry Jones is itching to make a splash. He wants the world to talk about the Dallas Cowboys, even if they are just sitting at home on their couch alone. I think he's going to make a move. But it will be going back. But we'll have to wait and see. In the meantime, boy, I got a lot of work to get going. And so I'm going to get going right now. And we're going to have the set together. We're going to have the ball. I hope you guys tune in. If you're a channel member, you'll be able to be into the conference call portion of it. You'll be part of the studio audience, so to speak. So we can hear you guys in the background cheering or laughing or whatever. Just keep in mind, when you're on the studio call, let me go ahead and reiterate this to the guys that will be on here. What you're doing at your house is going to be heard on here. So don't come in and, cuss this, that, and the other, and things like that. If you know there's a lot of ambient noise, or if you want to listen to the broadcast, you can mute your microphone. So that way we're not hearing the potato chips being crunched. Or if you're having an argument with the lady because she's like, he's watching all this, all 4 hours of this, then mute your mic. And check your Wi-Fi and make sure it's in good shape, because we want to make sure that this is as good as possible. And let's have some fun. So guys, I will see you with any news that breaks on our Dallas Cowboys. Have a great day.